Hey, Dr. G here. The dog does not have solar panels except for his eyes. He's covered with fur. Humans, however, are not covered with fur. And so we are designed to collect the rays of the sun. And the best time to collect those rays is in the morning. Because in the morning, the blue light that's in the visible spectrum of the sunlight is relatively low and it's balanced by red. So blue light stimulates us, wakes us up, gets us out to have a productive day. The red light balances it so it doesn't overstimulate us and doesn't break things down. We know from research that blue light, because of its intensity, breaks things down. One of the things it does is it causes the photoreceptor melanopsin. So melanopsin is a non-visual photoreceptor, and blue light disassociates melanopsin with vitamin A. Now, vitamin A is associated with all of our photoreceptors. And when we release vitamin A is very toxic because it's reactionary. It has an unpaired electron when it's released, and so it attaches to things and that damages them. So the sunlight, because it has a red, doesn't allow for this overstimulation, and so it's healthy for us. So the best time to be out is early in the day when the blue light is lowest intensity. The blue light intensity increases throughout the day and is at its peak at sunset. So ideally, we're out in the morning, we're getting the blue to wake us up, we're getting the red to regenerate us and to balance out that blue stimulus. But the other thing, the mid-morning sun is really important because we also collect the ultraviolet rays. So our solar panels collect the ultraviolet rays. Now what does that do? It does a lot of things. A lot of the molecules in our blood absorb ultraviolet light. One of the things that absorbs ultraviolet light is water. And when water absorbs ultraviolet light, it becomes a battery and it gives us extra energy. So we're getting energy directly from the sun. So we don't need to eat as much. We save on food bills. And at this critical time where it looks like there might be food shortages coming up, it's good to not have to buy so much food. You know, meat, I see the meat cases in the grocery store are half empty right now. Kind of scary because it might get worse before it gets better. One way to compensate for that is get out in that morning sun from sunrise till about noon and maybe 11 as the days get very intense. You don't want to burn yourself, you don't want to overdo it. But those are the most important for your health. What else does ultraviolet light do? Of course, it makes vitamin D. It activates the 7-dehydrocholesterol so that it can be converted into the pre-vitamin D, which is really important. It's also absorbed by the aromatic amino acids, which have ring structures that collect ultraviolet light. Hemoglobin is a collector of ultraviolet light. Ultraviolet light stimulates the release of nitric oxide, which is very healthy for our immune system and healthy to relax our arteries. So in our arterioles in our skin, ultraviolet light stimulates the release of nitric oxide, relaxes our arteries, and lowers our blood pressure. Okay, so big benefit there. It also causes the release of beta endorphin, our internal opioid, or opioid, I guess. The human opioid, the one we make inside of us that makes us feel good when we're out in the sun. And maybe that was one of nature's mechanisms to get us out there. Now, there's other benefits. It increases melanin, which also improves our energy. And it doesn't harm us like the dermatologists say if you follow Mother Nature's rules and you're outside at the sunrise, you're getting the red before the ultraviolet light to precondition your skin to tolerate the UV light. But us modern humans, we're indoors on our computers. We go out when it's noon. I'm going to get a tan. That's the wrong way to do it. That sun's going to hurt you. So yes, the sun hurts you if you don't follow Mother Nature's rules. Now, one of the things with me is I don't like to lay in the sun. I just can't do it. I've never been able to just lay there. You know, if I'm going to lay somewhere, I want to be sleeping. So if I'm not sleeping, I ain't going to lay nowhere. So what I do is I create projects that get me out into the sun. So one of the projects I have is I have this agave plant, and you can see the wounds that when you mess with agave, they mess back with you. But this agave plant, I pulled it out because it's rotting and it's full of some kind of critter that's eating away at it. It's basically killed the plant. So there was a little baby agave that sprouted out near its roots. So I got the baby. Okay, and so I'm going to try to let the baby grow. Now, another plant that I have here is some type of, all these plants have something sharp to penetrate your skin. That's how they protect themselves. But there's a shoot coming off here. I'm going to transplant that over there. This barrel cactus, it rolled into the highway one day. I don't know how it dislodged from the hillside, and so I planted there. It's been there a couple years, surviving. So these little projects in my yard, I can get out and work for an hour, work for 2 hours, and get my quota of blue, red, the other visible colors, the invisible colors, the ultraviolet, really important, ultraviolet, and the other really important invisible light, the infrared, the near infrared, far infrared, all the infrared frequencies. Remember, they balance out that extra stimulus. So the UV is the most powerful light. That's why you got to be careful. The midday, you got to be careful. Don't stay indoors and then go out at 11 o'clock when the sun's high like it is now. Okay, so get out there. Don't delay. Every day you miss is a day that your health degrades. Good talking to you.